Hi, welcome to our virtual Meet the Teacher. My name's Miss Murray and I'm class teacher of Primary 5-6. This is my second year at St Peter's. Last year I taught Primary 1-2 and got to work with all the P1-2 classes, so I know a few siblings and families from this class, which is lovely. Hopefully at some point soon I'll get to meet everybody, but obviously with the current situation it's not possible at the moment. I'm going to give you a little tour of the classroom, let you know some of the things that we'll be learning this year in Primary 5-6, show you where the boys and girls go at breaks and lunchtime, so obviously our routines have had to change this year, but we're all adapting really well and quickly to them, and talk you through some of the ways that we'll be learning as well as what we're learning. I'll go through some important things like PE kits and home learning. If anybody's got any questions, please do get in touch, I'd be happy to answer them. This is the outside space area where Primary 5-6 have their breaks and lunchtime. So they've got the top half of the upper playground, so for eating their lunch they can sit on the train here, they can sit on the bars where the bridge used to be, and they can sit on the seating round here next to the polytunnel. It's also very close to our apple trees that we planted with Mrs Murray Bell, so hopefully they'll be growing with the children and we'll be able to keep coming out and seeing how they're getting on. They've named them Appy and Alfredo, so we've got signs coming which will go next to the trees. So I'll take you around here if you've not seen the new outdoor classroom. So at the moment this is being used by Primary 1s and Primary 2s. Obviously with the current situation we're not able to have other classes using them at the moment, but hopefully that will change soon. We've still got our chickens. So when they're walking back from break and lunch they come this way, down the steps here next to the nursery. And this space is also where we line up if there's a fire drill. So down here along the side of the outdoor classroom and nursery garden. And then round into the porta cabin. We're really lucky as we'll have this lovely wee garden and outdoor area here. We've been making use of this space as well as the porta cabin. We'll quite often come out here to read. It's nice and peaceful. And then back up along here and into the porta cabin. So we're also very lucky to have our own hand sanitizer at the door, so the children are always reminded to use the hand sanitizer anytime they're coming in and outdoors, and obviously before lunch, after lunch, before break and after. We have got use of the left side of the classroom, so as you come in, half the children, at the moment we're the only class in the porta cabin, so half the children hang their coats and bags up in this cloakroom. Obviously the boys' toilets here and the girls' toilets here. We're really lucky that we've got our own toilets out in the porta cabin. So if we come through, I'll show you the other cloakroom first, which is just in here. Okay, so they've got pegs kind of spaced out and making use of this space in here. So we've worked really hard this term so far to think about our class charter. We have brought in the current situation with coronavirus and having to wear a mask to help us with it. So the children thought about what is beneath their mask. I'll just take a random one. So they all open up and they've got words inside to do with what's behind the mask, and it links obviously to our class charter, which we all signed and agreed on here, linking to the rights of the child. We've just finished creating our learning pit. So this class are really working hard this term to try and have a growth mindset. A lot of people need to be encouraged a lot of the time. We're quite a negative class sometimes about ourselves, but I'm not quite sure why, because everyone's amazing and really needs to have more confidence and self-belief. Okay, so we've linked that to our topic of superheroes. So we've all got our own little faces. They're just brilliant. So we're encouraged to use this learning pit to help us when we are maybe facing something that we're not quite sure what to do, or encourage us to learn that, you know, mistakes are good, they help us learn, something that we should enjoy in our learning and not fear and worry about. Over here we've got our tray, so in everybody's tray they've got a pencil, a rubber, a ruler, a pair of scissors, a whiteboard and a whiteboard pen. They're all labelled so that we know whose is who and they don't go missing, because obviously we're not allowed to be sharing resources as part of the new measures and new changes, but the children are getting used to it. We just need to remember to look after our resources and keep them in our tray so they don't go missing. That's something that we're needing a little bit more encouragement just now. So we've got our recognition board here just now. So our targets change. I think at the moment it's for concentration to do with our Talk for Writing. Our timetable, which the children follow along the left of the board. Okay, and obviously this is changing every day. We've got we love playing around the world, so we put whose turn it is up here, and our class responsibilities. So we have got a litter picker in each classroom, which we leave down here, and one person's responsible for taking the litter picker out at lunchtime and picking up the litter towards the end of lunch, and the basket, which is a new thing, which is here. So this is for, with our new travel pack lunch boxes, when they get cutlery and things, the cutlery goes in here and gets returned to the kitchen to be washed, and everything else will go in the recycling bin. So we've got a new general waste bin and our white recycling bin here. This is our class library. So something else that's changed, obviously, if we're taking a book and once we're finished reading it, it's got to go in the quarantine box for 72 hours or over the weekend until we can lay them away. So our quarantine box lives here, and obviously once it's been 72 hours, it's usually on a Monday after the weekend, just to be extra safe, it's laid away and put back in class. So we've got our learning powers here as well, which we make regular reference to. We quite often stop what we're doing and strike a learning power pose to encourage the children to reflect and think about what learning power they've been using. It's also a little bit of fun as well. Mrs. Fairclough had worked with the class for the best part of a Thursday, and they had done some amazing work on important events in France. And then over here we have got our Talk for Writing wall. So Talk for Writing is something that we have started this term, and we have started using our class novel From Our Reading Spine Farther. So I'm not sure if you've heard, if you ask the children, they'll surely be able to tell you lots about Farther, because it's been a huge focus this term. I think it was a picture book that we all thought maybe it looked quite complicated, and it is. It's got lots of different ideas, but we have loved reading that together. So we have gone through the process of creating a best map. So I create the class best map, which we use to innovate. So the post-it notes are when we innovated as a class, and the children have all made their own text maps in their jotters. We came up with a list of innovation ideas. So Farther is all about the father having a dream to fly. So we thought, and he builds wings and different machines. So we had to think about what else we could dream to do and what tools we would need for that to come true. There were some amazing ideas. A couple of Learning Power Awards were handed out to do with this. The work's been fantastic. And then we moved on to box up the plan. So from the box up, we've got the 4 sections. We then went on to do the independent application. And we all wrote out the paragraph, and then today we've just started doing the hot task, which is to write their own innovated version of Farther. There's been huge improvements already from the cold task and the writing at the start of term, so I'm really excited to see how we progress across the year. We are also using phonics this term to help us with our spelling, so that's a huge spelling focus. Just now we're using Phonics Play, and at the moment we're focusing on phase 5, so that's something that I've seen huge improvements with. Over to our reading display. I'm not sure if the children told you about our disaster with trying to make the origami birds the first time, but through using our learning power, don't give up, we managed to make some beautiful origami birds. So we make regular use to our reading skills, and we use these every week. And over our maths and numeracy display. So maths is something that I'm really passionate about myself, and trying to encourage the children to not fear it and enjoy it, because I think that's something that I see growth mindset as an area that we really need to focus on. So we've focused on addition, subtraction, multiplication, we're coming on to division, and we focused on place value. So we've got all the speech bubbles, which are our problem solving strategies, things to help us. We did a really nice growth mindset at the start of the year where we wrote down everything that we fear about maths on a piece of paper, scrunched it up and threw it away, and then the coloured lines represent how much our brain grows, which is fantastic. And then we've got our basic maths facts. There's time given every day for the children to practice this. They're all really keen to move up a level and to improve, which is fantastic. And we've got our Maths and Me posters that we made at the start of term along here. Peter's active learning is really important to us. We're all about experiencing it and then being able to apply the skills. Visible learning is something that we're using that really helps us with our learning, so it's important for the children to know where they are in their learning and what they're learning for it to be clear for them. So learning intention, success criteria, we're making daily reference to in each lesson, and the children are beginning to take ownership for their learning, so setting themselves targets, having conversations with me about how we can achieve those targets, and we've put all those in our learning journeys. So learning journeys will be coming out by the end of this week. Primary sixes that have already got iPads, our learning journeys are on Teams through Class Notebook, and as soon as the primary fives get their iPads, which will hopefully be before the October holiday, they'll get set up with their learning journeys as well. So it'll be fantastic when we've all got them and we can start to use them a lot more in class. What I would say with iPads is when we all get them, we need to make sure that they're coming to school fully charged and keep checking for regular updates. So we had a few issues today with apps not being there, which I'm going to investigate. But one of the things that we've been told is that if the iPads are needing an update, the apps will not show because of that. We have PE on a Monday and a Wednesday, and PE is having to be outside because of the current climate. That's coming from Scottish Government. So we have PE in the upper playground where I showed you for their breaks and lunches. Children are told to come to school wearing their PE kit, so obviously dress for the weather as well. Make sure they've got a jacket with them. Can be joggers, shorts, as long as they're warm enough and they're comfortable, but they can come to school in their PE kit, so they don't need to bring their PE kit to school to get changed. They can just wear that all day. It's important for them to come to school with a full water bottle, and they've got opportunities obviously to fill that up throughout the day. And home learning grid has been sent home already. It's on Teams as well. If anybody's having any problems getting onto Teams, please let me know. The activities are on there for the term, and there'll be a new grid issued every term, and we'll share our home learning in class on a Thursday afternoon. So please make sure that all home learning has been shared on Teams by then. I hope you've enjoyed the video and it's been useful, and you've got to see where the children are spending all their time in school. Like I said before, if you've got any questions, please get in touch. Thank you, bye.